ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to House Parties. It's been a long time since we've had them, because we had the bonfire, which was amazing, and we had student night, which was amazing, but I think we had a house party right before that.
Yep.
So it's been 3 weeks-ish, and we're really glad that we're back.
Woo-hoo!
If this is your first time at a house party, welcome to your house party. I hope your people aren't too weird. Hopefully they're a little bit weird, like the right amount of weird, but they're really glad that you are there. All right, well, announcements. Man, like, all the summer stuff, it's over.
I know. The bonfire was epic.
It was.
Yes. There were some students trying to sacrifice their puppy, but
Oh.
besides that, everything went smooth. And
So if you didn't come to the bonfire, come next year.
Yes.
It's crazy.
There'll be more puppies.
There will be more puppies. Or less afterwards. Who knows?
Might be none.
Yeah. Yeah, you were the one who brought your puppies to a bonfire.
Yes.
So, I don't know. Like, animal sacrifices are bound to happen. Yeah, we're just kind of like cruising through now. We really hope school has started well. We know that might be kind of rough. Or maybe you love it, and that's awesome. Good for you if that's the case. But this is a place where you get to come back to, and it's like, oh, this is familiar. It's the same. We love you. You can escape. You can be present. You can be who you are. Da, 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 da. So, glad you're back.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, you should probably introduce yourself.
So my name's Gabby. I am one of the youth leaders at Julian's house. And I've been here, I think, maybe 4 months?
Yeah.
Something around
Yeah.
there. So I used to lead way years ago, but then I came back. And I'm super excited. Have a great house. All the house parties are wonderful. So get connected.
Nice. When you said you have a great house, for a split second I thought you were bragging about how nice your house was. Because you were talking about it's like a long time ago, but since then, now you have a great house.
No.
You still have 2 puppies even after the bonfire.
I still have 2
that's
puppies.
great.
My yard is dead at my great house.
Oh, okay.
So
sorry.
Yep. It's been a rough summer.
Oh, bummer. All right, well, it is time for some slices. We're back to slices. Oh. Yeah. Here we go. Would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first? You've been really excited about yours.
I am stoked about my slice.
All right, you better go first.
So, back in 2015, there was a storage unit that went up for auction in North Carolina. And a public figure, I don't know if he was in news but he had his face in the media. He came in and purchased this storage unit. Inside of the storage unit was a barbecue. Ooh. So one day he goes out, decides to barbecue, opens up the barbecue, and guess what he finds?
A raccoon.
Close.
Oh, cool.
A mummified leg.
What?
Inside the barbecue.
No way.
Yes. So he keeps the leg and decides that he was the leg guy and starts writing stories about it. Well, it turns out the owner of the leg wanted the leg back. So he started a lawsuit against this guy to get his leg back. And the reason he kept the leg was in honor of his father. Weird, I know.
His father got mummified?
So that would have been cool, but his father got in a plane crash. The same plane crash he was in.
Gosh.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's the slice. Can you imagine going and finding a mummified leg in a barbecue? And then the owner wanting you to give the lake back,
Yeah.
but wanting to keep the lake.
Why did the guy want to keep the lake?
Because he was known as the lake guy.
Oh my gosh, he already has 2. How many
Yeah.
more does he need? That's
Maybe-
so selfish.
Yes, maybe 14. 14 is a good amount of lakes.
Yep.
I was thinking about that today. Yeah.
Well, so I learned something. This goes way earlier than 2017. A long time ago, there were different systems of mail being tested out, and in the 1870s, you know how you have like carrier pigeons? So like homing pigeons, they like go back to where they came from, and so you type messages and they go.
What was that noise again?
That was a good pigeon
That
noise.
was amazing.
It was a good pigeon noise. So I got sidetracked. Anyway, like, okay, now I have to say it, otherwise I can't move on. My wife's grandpa used to raise and sell homing pigeons. All right, anyway.
That's cool.
There was a homing pigeon competition.
What?
I know. And like people would pay like seriously good money for like the best pigeon competitors.
So, what was the competition? The
Whichever pigeon could get back fast enough. Like faster, the fastest pigeon.
The fastest pigeon.
Yeah, and people would pay like thousands of dollars for the fastest pigeon.
Did they have like pigeons? Did they have like secret pigeons that they would put in the competition? Like sabotage the fastest pigeon?
It's like a hawk
Yes.
that they painted as a
Yes.
pigeon.
I
It's
would
got like these talons. Alright. So, a long time ago, they were testing out different systems of mail, and in Belgium, they tried out male cats. Yeah, they would attach it. So there was this society, the Belgium Society for the Elevation of Domestic Cats. So they were all about like elevating the cat as like, see, this is an acceptable house pet, and so they tried to prove it by attaching letters to cats, but cats just do whatever they want, and so they just took letters everywhere that they wanted to. It didn't work.
Oh my gosh. You know what they should have done? Kept the pigeons and the cat could chase the pigeons.
Oh, yeah. Or they could have just hired a mailman
That's better.
on a horse. All right, that was Slices.
Slices.
Welcome back to Slices. All right. So we are beginning a new series in the month of August, and kind of the reason why we thought that this was a good series is you guys are going back to school, and that can be kind of like a new scary time. Maybe you've started a brand new school, maybe your whole friend group has changed and you're kind of starting from scratch again, or maybe you got like this crazy teacher that hates you, or like, I don't know, like, and there's all these like fears and anxieties and stuff that come into play. And so we thought this would be a good time to talk about the presence of God. So we're in this series, and it's called God with Us. Stephen, the series is God with Us.
You want to say that in a weird way?
No. He asked if I wanted to say it in a weird way. No. God with Us.
Boom.
So we're going to start the series, and we thought a really good place to start a series called God with Us is to kind of like ask the question, well, where is God?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you picture God, I don't know, maybe you picture him way up in like a cloud looking down at you, or maybe you picture him here, or maybe you picture him nowhere, or I don't know. So we talk about God, and we talk about him as if he's here and like he's around, but do we really know for sure? So Gabby and I, we're just going to look at a few verses, and we're going to see how they might answer that question, where is God? And yeah, we'll go from there. So let's start with Jeremiah 23 through 24. And this is God speaking. And he says this, And he's kind of like asking these like rhetorical questions. Am I a God at hand, declares the Lord, and not a God far away? The answer is yes, he is, yeah. Can a man hide himself in secret places so that I cannot see him? The answer is no. Declares the Lord, do I not fill heaven and earth? Yes, he does. Declares the Lord. So, I don't know. This already kind of gives a few answers. Like, what can we pull out of this, Gabby?
I know a huge place that I see him is I work on a dairy. And so I get to see crops being planted. I get to see corn grow. I get to see corn get harvested. And the ground, it's dead. And then it gets cultivated again, and then it's replanted and watered. And so I get to see that go over and over and over throughout the years. And it reminds me of how prevalent God is in every day. Like, you watch the corn grow on a daily basis, and you watch the seasons come. And even in all the seasons of our lives, we have harvest season, we have growing season, we have seasons where we need to be cultivated, and he's there in every season, and it looks different. And so mine is a lot in nature.
That's really cool. That's awesome. Yeah, the word fill kind of sticks out to me. Like, he fills heaven and earth. Like, when you fill a cup, like, whatever liquid you fill that cup up with, it takes up the entirety of the space. And so when I put my kids to bed, often a question that I ask them is like, where's God? And they whisper, they say, everywhere. I was like, yes, that's right. Yeah, kind of creepy, but it's true. All right, so next one. Do you want to read the next one?
Yes, Romans.
Sure. No, let's do the Proverbs 15:3.
So Proverbs 15:3, the eyes of the Lord are in every good place, or every place, keeping watch on the evil and on the good.
Okay. All right. What can we take out of that one? Where is God?
I think that God sees everything. That nothing is left unseen. So when you are hurting, when you are doing right, even when people aren't watching, God still sees that. And you're not absent from him. He never takes his eyes off you. And he pursues you that way.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess I'm thinking of this in very literal terms. I love where you're going with it. Keep doing that.
I am so abstract.
Do it. No, please continue to be abstract.
Okay.
And I'm gonna come at it from like a literal perspective. From this, it seems like he's close enough to see us. So, okay. All right. You keep being you, and I'll be me. All right. Psalm 139, verse 7. Where shall I go from your spirit? Where shall I flee from your presence? Where is God?
He's inside of us. His Holy Spirit dwells in us.
Okay, explain that. Because that, like, for someone who's never heard that before, that's like the weirdest thing ever.
So when we invite Jesus into our hearts, he comes and lives in our hearts with us. And we get to be transformed into his likeness. And so we always have him living in our hearts, no matter where we're at. It's the cup. It's that filling. So he fills us with his spirit when we invite him in, like your cup. He's everywhere.
Yeah. That's really cool. And if you're like, what? We're going to spend like a whole video of this series talking about what Gabby just talked about. So stay tuned. So again, from a literal perspective, it seems like even if you tried to like run away from him, you didn't do it. He's still there. Like, he is so close and he's so everywhere. Like my kids say at night, that you can't get away from him. Like he's everywhere.
So does this mean that you can't play hide and go seek with God?
That's a really good question. I wonder. I think God would enjoy playing a good game of hide and go seek. Wow, this just broke everything wide open. I think if a little kid, like if you had like the heart of a kid and you're like, God, can we just play hide and seek together? He'd be like, yeah. And yeah, I don't think he would cheat. I think
so too.
interesting. Okay. Wow. That just broke everything wide open. Maybe that's impossible. Which brings everything.
don't know.
Are there things God can't do? He can't play hide and go seek, or at least without
What?
cheating. Okay. All right. Man, this is so good. We're learning so much about God's hide and go seek abilities.
I know. I want to play hide and go seek though.
Yeah. All right. Did I read the last one or did you?
I think you did.
Okay. How about you read Job 12:10?
In his hand is the. I'm so sorry. My phone is broken, and so I can't read that word.
That's great. You want me to read it?
Yes, please.
Okay. In his hand is the life of every living thing and the breath of all mankind. All right. What do we get out of this one? Where is God?
I'm going to be literal.
Oh,
take
cool.
this.
Okay. I'll try to be abstract.
Every living thing and the breath of all mankind, all of us literally breathe. He is in every breath that we take, is literally what it's saying. So when you take a breath, God is there.
Yeah. I don't know how this works if we are to take it literally, and I do, but somehow he is keeping us alive. Like, yeah, our heart is beating and like our nervous system is causing our lungs to like go in and out and like all that stuff, like even while you're sleeping. But there is something about God is like holding it all together. And if he were to just take his hands off of it, it wouldn't function, which is crazy. Like, I don't know. It's like he's actively pedaling the bicycle. The wheels are spinning, but it's because he's pedaling. I don't know. There's holes in that illustration, but
it also makes him a very active God. He isn't passive. He just doesn't sit
That's
on the
right.
sidelines.
Right.
He's pedaling. Like,
right.
He's involved.
Yeah. So like to the question, where is God? Well, he must be pretty close if he's keeping us alive. Okay. All right. Matthew 18:20. This is Jesus speaking. For where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there am I among them. That seems kind of like redundant. Like if God is everywhere.
I was thinking too.
It's like God's like, I'm everywhere. Even when 2 of you talk about me. It's like, what? All you had to say was everywhere. So what is this talking about?
And my name is mentioned.
Right.
I'm definitely there. I heard you.
Nice.
I still won't cheat with hide and go seek.
Right.
But I heard you.
That's right. Oh, that's how you could get God to come out of his hiding spot, is you get a buddy and be like, Jesus, gosh dang it.
I have to come.
Oh my gosh.
Matthew says I have to come.
Yeah, that's right. Gotta stick to my word. I'm Jesus. So, okay, what is this saying? Like, if he's already everywhere, why would Jesus even say something like this?
Oh, I wonder if it's because we forget that he's everywhere. Maybe there's a purpose for redundancy.
Maybe. I wonder if there's like you know how you can show up to something, but you can like really show up to something?
Yeah.
Like you can go on a date and totally ignore the other person, or you can go on the date and like be invested in the conversation. I wonder if not that God would like ignore us, but it's like if we're invested, he's equally invested.
Yeah. If we look for him, because it's a relationship.
Yeah.
And so if I'm sitting here ignoring Stetson, it's going to be a really bad time for him.
Yeah. This would be the weirdest house party ever.
Yes.
Yeah. Or at least the video. Yeah. All right. Okay. So hopefully that gets the gears turning. But we wanted to touch on one verse that, or maybe it's 2. I think it's just 1. Anyway, we wanted to touch on one verse that talks about not necessarily like the physical presence of God, but one special way we can be reassured that he's definitely around.
Yeah.
Do you want to read the verse? Should I?
The crack
How's
is
your phone doing?
We're good.
Okay, great.
We passed the crack.
Okay.
It's Romans 8:38. For I am sure that neither death nor life, nor angels, nor rulers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor powers, nor height, nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God in Jesus Christ our Lord.
All right. So, like, this is saying it's like, all right, no matter what's going on, like, no matter these different factors, you are always, 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 always connected to God through his love for you.
And there's no conditions in this. So his love is constant, and the amount of love is constant. There's nothing that you can do more or nothing that you can do less for him to remain this connected and in loving with us.
Yeah. So I guess to the question, where is God? The answer would never be, he left me. Is kind of what this verse is getting at.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. There's a lot here for you to talk about, but we wanted to talk just really briefly about like the whole, like, so presents, it's like not like the things underneath the Christmas tree, but like, so like Gabby is present here to me. Like I can see her, she's here, we're talking to each other. So like when someone is close, you feel their presence. Like maybe they smell, you don't smell, but like maybe they do. Maybe like, I don't know, we had a bunch of people over at our house and the air conditioner couldn't keep up and like the house was like really warm. It's just like, oh, and or like you can hear their voice or something like that. It's like clues that like God is near. So Gabby, what are ways that you have felt the presence of God? Like what are things you've experienced that make you aware of like, oh my gosh, God is right here?
One is sunshine. I love going out. And when it's hot, it's sunshine because you can feel how warm that you get. And you can feel that the sun is beaming towards you, that the sun is directed towards you, the sun sees you. That's one thing that's really made me feel close. Another one is worship. I love worship. Because it just the lyrics remind you of who God is. And it makes me feel close to him.
That's really cool. I like that a lot. I think I have a nature one too. Like when wind is blowing through trees, that makes me think of him. Yeah. But I think the times where, okay, well, there's two things. So in my job, I have lots of conversations with people, and people like ask me questions, and I try to like come up with the best answer to their questions. And like a lot of times I say stuff that I have no right to take credit for. Like, wow, what I said was so smart. That was awesome. But I did not think of it. And before I said that, I'm like in this posture, like this person is talking to me. I was like, oh my gosh, I have no idea how to help them. God, please help me help this person. And all of a sudden it's like, bleh, and it's like, wow, like that was amazing. I have no idea where that came from. Yeah. But then I think it's like, oh, I know exactly where that came from. I asked God for help and he helped me. So that's kind of a weird experience. Maybe you've felt something like that before. But the other thing is sometimes like I just get really emotional. Like I just start to tear up. Not necessarily at random, but it can be at random. But it could be like watching a TV show and I see something and it feels like God is on the couch. And he's like, did you see that? That's me. Like, I do that too. It's like, oh my gosh. And I'm holding it together. My wife is like, what's wrong with you? So yeah, like, I don't know. Yeah. So maybe there's like a whole bunch of different ways, but it's helpful for us to become aware of the different ways that like God really likes to make his presence known. Because if we don't learn that about ourselves, we're missing out on these really beautiful moments where it's like, oh my gosh, God is here.
I have one.
Yeah.
In college, Jesus and I would sing Taylor Swift songs to each other. I'm not joking. I had an hour drive one way, an hour drive back another way. And I would put on Taylor Swift, and I just felt Jesus sitting in my passenger seat. And we would sing Taylor Swift songs together. And sometimes I still put on the old Taylor Swift albums.
Oh, nice.
And it's a connection between the Lord and I.
Nice. That's cool. Right on. All right. So we're talking about, like, what Gabby and I just shared. Those are our personal experiences. So if you've never experienced what we shared, don't, like, worry or freak out, or, like, if you think you're weird, or if you think we're weird, you're right. Like, we are a little bit. But yeah. But this could be a really cool conversation for you guys to have. If we are not aware that God is with us, it can feel really lonely, especially going into school and stuff like that. So I'm excited for the conversation that you guys are about to have. I hope it's really fun. I hope you have a really good time seeing each other in your house party again. And we love you, and we will see you next week.
Yes.